Am I on? Am I on? Okay, where's my chat? Hello, YouTube. Is there not a chat version here somewhere? This is the first time I'm coming live on YouTube. I'm so excited to be here. And I should introduce myself. First of all, I'm Crystal. Welcome to my page, Brave Bold You. I'm so happy you're here. I am going to do some live videos weekly, and I'm going to do them under a series called Food for Thought. And every series, I'll try to focus on a topic. So I'm going to need your help to tell me what you are struggling with because I identify as a life strategist. I am here to help empower you and help educate you and just really help you create a life you love, right? And so I'm here. I hope that I'm live, because there's really no way of telling right now. And let's go. Let me just check my settings, because we got to work on the tech issues. So let's see. I don't know. Am I live? Hello. Let's see. I'm going to check in to see if this is working. So the first thing is first, I wanted to start episode number 1 on something that I know a lot of us tend to struggle with when it comes to lifing at times, when it comes to wanting to create something we've never had or to work towards a goal we've never done. And I want to talk about motivation. Motivation, I like to call it like that flaky friend that makes plans with you and you get all excited and then all of a sudden they bail and you're just left there being like, I was really looking forward to hanging out today. And so that's how I view motivation. It is literally just an energy that's going to get you started towards working on whatever goal it is you're focused on, but it is not the thing that's going to keep you going. And so I thought tonight would be really great to talk about what to do about motivation when you're lacking motivation. So this is episode 1, food for thought. Tell me in the comments if you have ever found yourself working towards a goal or a project, something that you were really motivated and inspired by, and then all of a sudden you kind of like lost the get up and go. You kind of like lost the motivation. And share with me what you have done. Did you shelf that project? Did you tell yourself a lie? And I'm going to say it's a lie. Did you convince yourself that that's something that you you couldn't be working towards or something you couldn't have? I'm just seeing if I'm still live. I am live. Woo! Getting excited here. Just let me know in the comments. Is this something that you have told yourself, like, I guess I'm just not meant to be, right? Have you said these words, these fatal words? It's just not meant to be. I'm here to tell you that is actually false. If this is something that you have been wanting to do, so let's say it's to write a book or start a business or get in shape or, I don't know, become more financially free or move away into another country, like whatever it is, I want you to be really real with yourself. How often have you thought about this thing, right? So I can't see a chat. I don't know if there is one. That's fine. We'll go with it. So I will check the comments. But if you have found yourself saying these things and convincing yourself of this lie that it's not meant to be, I'm going to just come in here today to share a few tips and tricks to help you reframe that. Because as I said, motivation is like that flaky friend, right? That is going to bail on you. So motivation is going to get you started. It's not the thing that's going to keep you going, and it's not the thing that's going to help you cross the finish line. Okay? So what you need to rely on is your commitment. So commitment is huge. When you know what your commitment is, and how to know what your commitment actually is to tap into what your why is. Why do you want to do this thing? Like, why? Right? And then if you started to believe into the lie that I guess it's not meant to be, I'm going to tell you, why not you? Right? So this is how you reframe it. So if you've convinced yourself, I can't do this thing, it wasn't meant to be, I tried it, it didn't work, I'm going to tell you, why not you? Right? Because I think as humans, we tend to think that if it's not easy, then it's not meant to be. And the thing is what if this is actually growing your character for that next version of you, right? Like there's this great story that I love to tell about Walt Disney, and then I'll get into some tips. But there's this great story I like to tell about Walt Disney because Walt Disney, can you imagine a world without Walt Disney? Walt Disney is like everywhere. Like if you think about a world without Walt Disney, like I mean, this man had a dream. He had a goal, he had a vision, he knew what his why was. And he actually had to go to how many banks? How many banks did he get denied from? Right? You get dressed up, you go show your business plan, and then basically people start thinking you're a mockery and a fool. And he did this over and over and over again because he was believing into the commitment. He knew what his why was. He was solid in that. And eventually, I don't know how many times he was turned down, at least 30-ish. Got to a point where, and here comes my dog, got to a point, there you go. Yes, Phineas wants to make an appearance. He got to a point where he had to be so anchored into who he was, what he was becoming to create that vision until eventually somebody else was like, you know what? I believe, I see this vision. I believe in you. Let's go and make this happen. And look what he created. And so what I want to tell you is if you know what your why is, like tap into what it is you want and why do you want it, right? And again, if you are willing to become that version of you that has that thing you want and you can hold the responsibilities that come with the thing you want, you can have it, right? So it can't just get handed to you. Just like Walt Disney didn't just get handed the money to build this incredible, his Disneyland. Like he didn't just get the money handed to him. He had to become, and he was forged. His character was created, right? To be able to stand up and stand firm in what it was he was standing for, like his commitment. So knowing your commitment is actually knowing why you want it. And so you're gonna have to write that down. Like, why do you want it? Right? So when you have that solid and it's in your mind, you're gonna show up even on those days you don't feel like it. Because the truth of the matter is you don't need motivation. Listen up. You don't need motivation. You just need momentum. All you need is momentum. So currently what I'm doing right now is a 60-day challenge. So I had a major spinal injury. The beginning of this year, I actually couldn't walk, I couldn't sit, I couldn't sleep. I was in excruciating pain. And when I started to feel a little bit better, but still a lot of pain, I was really encouraged by my medical team to start moving my body. And so I had developed a fear of, I don't want to make this worse, right? Tell me if you've ever been there. Like, I don't want to make this worse. So, like, I'm scared, I'm not going to do it. And what I actually had to do to, like, really just retrain my brain is I created a 60-day challenge. So, all I did is I took sticky notes, like those sticky notes. And I wrote 1 through 60 and I stuck all the sticky notes on my wall. So I started this challenge as a way to build momentum, not motivation, momentum. So when I first started this challenge, because I'm currently redoing it, so I'm the second version of the 60-day challenge, and I actually have 10 days left, and I'll have completed 120 days of moving my body every day for 30 minutes to build up the momentum and to let go of the fear of hurting myself. This is how I know that this is all you need is momentum. You don't need motivation. So I know what my why was. My why was I want to be able to move my body in a pain-free way. So I had my commitment. And then I set the grounds for that. I'm going to move my body every day for 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be 30 consecutive minutes. There are days that I've split it up into different sessions. It doesn't mean I'm going to be hardcore at the gym every day. It could be a walk, right? It could be some stretches, some yoga, like whatever movement, moving your body, whatever that looks like to you, is why I started this challenge, so that I can move my body in a pain-free way. So I have the commitment. I put the sticky notes. So now I have that visual aid to just show me, like, right? And actually what's really interesting is I did the first round of the 60-day challenge and I completed it all by myself. I was showcasing it in my stories on my social media platforms. And I had a lot of women reaching out to me like, what is this thing you're doing? And they were really curious. And so I decided to do a second version. Now I'm going to share my observations so far of this second version of the 60-day challenge, where I had other women join me. And it was a completely free challenge. And so I had every woman do the same thing. What is your why? Why do you want to do this challenge? What is the goal you're working towards, right? And you have to be solid in that. And then I encouraged them to all put their sticky notes on the wall, labeling each sticky note 1 through 60, and to place it in a place you could see. So mine was on my bedroom wall. There are some ladies that put it on their fridge, on their office wall. I didn't matter where you put it, but it has to be visual. Right. And the reason you want that is because there are going to be days you don't feel like working towards your goal. There's going to be days. And again, you don't need motivation. You need momentum. And so something that I noticed is at the beginning, everybody's roaring to go. Like that energy is there. We're like all on fire. It feels so good. And then, as motivation will be, she will flake out at about 2.5 weeks ish. That's when people start to realize, like, whoa, this is actually a lot harder than I thought. Right. And this is applicable to any goal. So, like, stick with me here. So, it gets harder. And if you are just used to allowing that to just be the story and shelf that goal and shelf that dream, then I understand, right? It's hard. It is very hard. However, it doesn't have to be hard. You could just retrain it and tap back into the commitment. So for me, being disciplined, it's an 11-letter word for self-love. Literally. You have to be disciplined. So once you know what your why is and you set up the strategy for what that looks like, and you start taking the steps and you accept that there's going to be sucky days, like you embrace the suck. I have a motto, embrace the suck, right? Because those sucky days are actually building the character. Because I tap back into that story of Walt Disney, and he's not the only one. There are thousands of people that have created incredible things for their lives because they embrace the suck and because they allow themselves to focus on progress, not perfection. And so by allowing this and by showing up in this, you start to build the momentum, right? You start to recreate another story, another character line in your story to be like, hey, I'm doing something I've never done before, and it's kind of messy, but I'm doing it. Right. And then the momentum starts to build. And so here we are, like I've got 10 days left of this second challenge. And now the women, excuse me, who are still doing the challenge with me, because it's natural, people will fall off. The momentum is starting to come back because now we've got 10 days left. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's really about tapping into why you're doing this, knowing why you're doing this, and you show up in it. You know what I mean? Let me know in the comments if this is making any sense. But I want to make sure that you feel like you hear this and you feel on fire, right? So you have to know why you're doing this. You have to show up in it, even when you don't feel like it. And for me, what I've done is I have a letter I wrote to myself. I have a letter that I wrote to myself as though I already achieved the goals that I have. So I'm not writing in any lack energy. I'm writing as though I've already achieved it and how grateful I am and what that feels like. And so on those days where I feel like, oh, I just don't want to, I read that letter. I go back and I read that letter, and it just really helps me reframe. Other things that I do. So if you follow me on social media, on my stories, you know that every day I do little mini hype sessions, little mini hype dance sessions, because I honestly believe you should dance before you leave your house every day. Like, it will change your energy. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to challenge you to do this for the rest of this week, and then come back and let me know in the comments if anything shifted for you. But literally, it will change the vibration in your body. It'll change your state and your physiological self will start to change, and it's going to activate your brain, and there's going to be all these neural signals happening, and you're going to show up different. You're going to walk more confident. You're going to feel like a pep in your step. And so I do every day little mini hype sessions. I actually did a mini hype session right before coming live. That's why I feel like I'm all energized, because I did this hype session. So what do I do? What I do, I should say, is I have a playlist on my phone of songs that the minute I hear it, I mean, and like, you know what I'm talking about. There are certain songs that you will hear and you'll be just like, yeah, let's go. I have a list of songs. So on those days where I don't have motivation, right? On those days where it's like, oh, I just don't want to tackle my dishes, I will legit blast the song. The song that'll get me going and start dancing, and I'll start loading up the dishwasher, right? And I'll tackle the pots and pans. I am able to train myself. Like, I've just trained myself in this way to just do the thing, because that's what it is. Like, I'm showing up for that version of me tomorrow that's going to wake up and be happy her kitchen is clean. Do you know what I'm saying? So these are just little tricks that I'm sharing with you. So I don't know how long I've been going. I know I've been talking nonstop because I just love to do that. And I'm hoping that I'm leaving you with some golden nuggets that you can try to apply right now in your life. But I want you to literally, like, let's just do a little recap. You don't need motivation. Write this down somewhere. You don't need motivation. You just need momentum. So all you have to do is set yourself up for the why you're doing this. This becomes your commitment, right? This becomes your commitment. And I think oftentimes we have a goal and it feels so big and daunting and it becomes heavy. So what we need to do is we need to break it down. So it's like little mini goals. So what I like to do is I'll look at the big goal and then I'll reverse engineer it, and I'll start from step 1, right? Because you can't skip the middle, right? You need to walk through all the steps. And so I'll start at step 1 and I'll start to slowly build that momentum. So what does that look like? I really tap into the energy of somebody who is already doing the thing that I'm trying to work. So let's say if I am writing a book, which I am, right? Then I need to tap into the energy of I'm already an author. What do authors do? They sit down and they write every day, right? They sit down and they write pages, right? Is everything that they write every day gold? No, but they don't attach meaning to it. They sit down and they're in the practice. So this becomes your practice, right? So you can take this information, and for transformation to happen in your life, you need to take the knowledge in the headspace here and you bring it down into your body. You just let it simmer, and then you start to do the actions. You do the actions. This is how you create transformation in your life. You build on it. You build on it. And when things suck, because they're gonna suck, right? You embrace the suckage and you get back up and you keep going. And so once you know what your why is and you're committed to it, you set yourself up to build the momentum, and then you embrace the suck and you keep going because you are disciplined. This is how you get after creating any life. There's no such thing as luck, right? There's no such thing as luck. There's such thing as hard work, right? Sure, do some people get things handed on a silver platter? Perhaps. I know I didn't. Everything I have, I've had to work hard for. And so hard work and having a good work ethic will get you to where you're going, right? And so this is what I have. I really hope that it helped you out in some way. I'll come back live again soon. So if you can let me know in the comments what's something else that you would like me to jam more on with you. So anything about mindset, it could be nutrition, it could be like how to make time for me, right? Do you feel like your days are filled and you don't know where you fit in your schedule? It could be anything, relationships, money, like all of the things, boundaries. Let me know in the comments, because as a life strategist, as somebody who has studied these topics and lived through a lot of them, I can come in and offer some guidance. And I love to have you here. So again, if this video helped you out, could you please hit the like button? Make sure you're subscribed, as well as hit the notification bell, because when you hit that notification bell, you'll know when I'm going live, and you'll be able to jump right on and be here with me live. And if you can't catch me live, you'll know I did a live video and go back and watch it. And if anything I said really resonated with you, feel free to share this out. Like, if you have whatever other platform you're playing on, I'll know a lot of the times we can share videos on our own platforms, and you can always go back to that so you won't lose it. So if you want to share that out so anybody else also that needs to hear it will hear it, I'm super grateful for you. I'm so grateful to be here. And this was episode 1 of Food for Thought. Thank you for being here. As always, be brave, be bold, be you.